It's okay.
I see it was me all the while, holding me down. I wasn't ready to receive.
Hey everybody, welcome back. It is your girl Spirit and her co-host Kalley. We are Spirit Speaks. We are speaking from the Spirit, and we want to pour into you. It has been a while, but me and Kalley, we've just been all over the place. We've been traveling, businesses, making moves. So we had to come back and show y'all love. And today the topic is going to be crazy. Kalley.
Yeah, it's about the term we usually call people pleasers. So we want to talk about that and touch on that today. And it was so funny because there was a recent situation that happened this Wednesday. And we were at a girlfriend of my birthday event on Sound and Cinema downtown.
Cool.
And she invited this girl. She was like, yeah, I wanted her to come out. She's having man problems. And she's like, I've been seeing this dude for 2 months. And all of a sudden, we travel to California, we get back, and he says he met this girl he really likes. And basically, he breaks up with me. And she was just like devastated. And I'm just over there eating my fried chicken, like my chicken wings, like, oh girl, we've all had that story. Get over it. Like, life goes on. Yeah, but life goes on. We want to talk about not being stuck there. I think one thing, 2 months, really, like that's not a long time to be devastated.
Yeah,
talk about 5 years, like, but it's some years that they can be devastated. But a couple of months, like that should still be the dating process, like getting to know each other.
Life should not be over.
Yeah, life should not be over for that. But let's just talk about pleasing people. I know that I have an issue with that when it comes to my friends and my family, and I never really focus on what I like to do. And I think I mentioned it before. I took a couple of months and did everything that I wanted to do just to see what I liked, what I didn't. So in those times where you are by yourself and nobody's calling, no dude is asking to take you out, no friend is asking to go to the movies, and you're sitting at home thinking, what am I about to do with myself? You know what you like, you know what to do. I like to go out to eat and get pedicures and take myself to the movies. That's what I like to do.
And you have to find out what you like to do.
Yeah,
find your passion and cultivate it. You know, I have a talent agency. Kalley's an up and coming big time stylist, meeting so many different people. But she found that in the process of being alone and saying, hey, what do I like to do?
Right.
What am I good at? And cultivating that gift. Even with stuff, you can't be in a place where you put so much of you, so much of your essence into a thing, so when that thing is gone, now you feel less than, now you feel incomplete. You need to be whole with just being who you are. And when I say whole, I mean comfortable. Be comfortable in your own skin. And I'm not even just talking about like physically, like, oh, I have a pimple. Like, I'm talking about the inner you, like, where you just feel depressed all the time. Like, you want to break those things. You want to be able to look in the mirror, and whether you have everything or have nothing, you are just happy with just being who you are.
Yeah, you never want, if at any time you're in a place where someone else's actions or someone else's decision leaves you wondering or questioning who you are, then this is definitely for you. Whether it doesn't necessarily have to be a boyfriend, a girlfriend, it could be a family member, it could be a coworker, anyone, if their decisions, if their actions, if their perception towards you makes you question, is pretty? Am I worthy? Am I worth the time? You know, well, is something wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, this is definitely for you. There might be something wrong with you. There's something with all of us, but everybody has some issues. However, exactly, I have issues, but you know what? I'm aware of my issues. I'm like, okay, this is what it is. This is what I need to do to work on it. I don't work on all of them at the same time because that's overwhelming. But I take one at a time.
Exactly.
And I'm aware and I acknowledge it. And you know, that's what we want you to do. I want you to be comfortable with your flaws and all.
Flaws and all.
Yeah, flaws and all. Yeah.
Yes. And for me, like, I've been in a place where I put so much of me into a person. Like, I was married at a young age, and when that didn't go the way it should have, as far as working out, I felt less than, and then I looked in the mirror and I'm like, okay, what are all the things that I'm doing wrong? And, you know, just really beating myself up like, oh, if I would have did this and if I would have did that. And, you know, that's not how it's supposed to be. Whether somebody sticks with you by your side, ride or die, like all of that, well, not ride or die, but just they are a partner in crime. Like, y'all are going to ride this thing out. Or they decide to just desert you and leave you astray. You still need to be whole. Like, you know what? I'm full of peace with or without you. Even a thing. If I lose my car today, I'm still going to be the same me. My life will not end because of a possession or a person. And that's the place that you need to get to. So, Kalley, can you give any steps or some advice on how to get to that place?
I mean, in any situation, I mean, be accountable for your actions first.
Yes.
That's the first thing. Be accountable for your actions. And that's just knowing who you are. Yes, I did this. I could have did this better. Hey, it's a lesson. Next time, I'll consider those things. I'll take those into consideration. I'm aware. It's just being accountable, being aware, and making a decision to change it. I told my son last week, it's no use trying to fill milk. It's gone. There's nothing we can do about it. We can't go back and we can't change that. But what we can do is change it the next time. So let's move forward and make conscious decisions of what we can do to help prevent that same thing from happening again. Not shutting down. Not, you know, we don't want to do that. But we want to make, we want to make good, sound decisions. Create limits and boundaries for ourselves, so that we won't allow certain things to come into our space and interfere with what we feel and think about ourselves. So that's my advice.
I completely agree. You know, you have to speak life into yourself. Even me, I'm a Christian. The Bible says speak those things that are not as though they were. So with that, it just means that, like, hey, you know you have a flaw, but hey, I'm like, oh, I'm late to everything. So now I'm going to speak life into it and say, hey, I'm on time for everything. And I'm going to keep saying it until it comes to pass. And even with a certain characteristic that you have, you want to, whatever the problem is, you want to speak the opposite of that and let that start coming to pass. You want to be repetitive. You want to just keep saying it. Even if you feel physically like, oh, I'm not beautiful, or oh, I'm not handsome, say, hey, I am handsome. Hey, I look really beautiful today. And keep saying those things. And as you keep saying it and you keep releasing it into the atmosphere, you'll actually start to believe it. And just like, you know, there's so much power in your words, so just as much as you can speak negative and you'll really start seeing that in your situation, start speaking positive, and that will also change your situation.
Yeah, it will. And all things are not immediate. So we have to be patient because there's a process. And I say that because over time, depending on how old you are, there's so many things that have been spoken that contradict things. So you have, say for me, I'm 33. So I have had 33 years of things that were spoken over my life, things that were programmed into my brain. And so it very well may take 33 years to untrain it. We never know, but just as much as it takes you to develop a habit, it takes you to kind of get out of it. So yes, you have to counteract those negative things by speaking, reversing them, and speaking positive. I'm a Christian also, and a lot of times what I do, I am always late. I am always late. I be getting better, like even my job, like I really be getting better at that. I haven't gotten there yet. I set my alarm clock an hour and before I'm supposed to get up, and so that means when I hit it, I literally have 30 minutes then to be lazy and lay in the bed, and then I start getting my stuff ready. But you have to not just speak it, you have to make preparation. I'm horrible being consistent at working out. So what I tell myself is, okay, I'm not gonna overload myself. Let's just start with one day a week. Let's see how you feel about yourself then. I feel good. Okay, girl, let's do it again. Let's do it the next day.
That's how you do it.
Girl, I feel good. And so after a while, you start looking at the changes that you think, you're like, oh shoot, I'm snapping. Let me get into it. I'm about to get into that dress that I've been wanting to get into. You know, so it's gradual. I don't want you to think that it's going to happen overnight. And some things miraculously do happen overnight, but I don't want to set the expectation that they will. But it's just a process you make up in your mind that this is what you want for yourself, this is what you want for your life, and this is how you want to see yourself, and you don't want anything to interfere with that. It just comes with making a decision, practicing that decision, speaking those things as though they aren't, so that they will be, and then that's how you begin to create a new you and be comfortable with who you are, because there's nothing that anyone can tell you to make you question yourself or contradict that.
And speaking of that, you have to be careful with the words that people speak over your life. Don't even let everything enter in your mind and let it resonate on your heart. Someone says, oh, you're this and you're that, and they're negative things. Take those words and you throw them in the trash. Don't let it keep running through your mind like this person said that and this person said that. Throw it away. Speak against that and don't receive it. Even certain atmospheres, certain environments, stay away from it. If it's not something that's positive or something that's going to keep peace within you, something that's cause discord within yourself, because you know they just released that word to you and now you're going home with a mind battle debating, oh my god,
is that me?
Like, be careful with the words that people say. Like, I highly recommend you guys to pay attention to what people are saying. If people are like always have this negative word, stay away from it for a while. Like, you want to get whole within you. We're not just saying this because we read this in a book. These are things that we have actually done, and it has worked. And not that we're together, we're perfect yet, but we're going through the process. And speaking of going through the process, that will lead into our next show, which talks about patience and waiting and going through the process. This is your girl Spirit
and your girl Kalley.
Stay tuned.
I can never find the words to say the way you love me. It's all that I need. It's hard to articulate the way I feel.